Hello, in this video I'd like to show you how to put together these hidden binding mini albums that I have at the Silhouette online store and at loriwhitlock.com in SVG format. I'm offering these in two different sizes, the 4x6 and the 3x4, and these little albums are perfect for using up your stash of 3x4 and 4x6 cards. I design paper for Echo Park Paper Company, and in each collection I design a 3x4 sheet and a 4x6 sheet, so this is a great way to use those cut apart sheets, or if you're a project lifer, you probably have quite a stash of 3x4 and 4x6s as well. So this is an inexpensive way to make a great looking mini album. So let me show you how to do this. The greatest part about this album is the binding. You can see that it gives you about a 1/4 inch space in between each page, and that allows for embellishing, which can be super fun. So you can see that these little pages or the little binding system is hidden so that the pages just attach right to the binding, and they make these great little albums. So the key to this whole system is this little binding piece here, and it's basically just a rectangle with a bunch of score marks going through the middle. And what you're going to do is just start folding that, and the 1/4 inch spaces are going to be the part that is flat against the back of the book here. The 1/2 inch spaces here are going to be the pieces that you glue your pages to. So as I'm folding this, actually this first one needs to come forward. So we're going to have this come forward, and then we'll pinch these two 1/2 inch pieces together, and then we'll leave this 1/4 inch piece flat, and then we'll pinch the next section of 1/2 inch pieces together. So I hope this makes sense, but basically you're coming up with a piece that looks like this here. And we'll glue these sections together here in between. So just continue folding that all the way across. Okay, so now that I'm done folding that, I should have a piece that looks like this. Hopefully you can see that, but against the back it'll be flat, and on the front you've got all these little pieces that you'll hook your pages to. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue in between those layers. And if you're using liquid glue like this, use it sparingly. You do not need much. Oops, a little too much there. So then you'll just go ahead and pinch those together. I have these little clips that actually are great for pinching these together and holding them while they dry. They are made for sewing, but I use them for paper crafting and they work really well. I'll show you what they come in just a minute. They just come in a set like this of 50. I think they're by Dritz, so you can look for those if you're interested. Okay, so while that's drying, the other piece that's in the file is this nice piece that goes on the outside of the album to finish off that binding area. So just go ahead and fold that to form a U like that. And now we're ready to start putting this book together. Okay, so now that my binding is dry, I've got to attach my pages to the binding. So I've gone ahead and started doing that. I've done that to the first page here. Basically, you need to decide what order you want your pages in, and then you just start gluing them back to back with the top little piece here, or the side piece if you're making it horizontally, attached to the binding. So my next spread, I've decided that I want it to look like this. So I'm going to just glue those, sandwiching that binding in between at the top here. So make sure you get everything oriented the correct way. So I'll go ahead and attach this second page here. And just make sure everything stays nice and square. You don't want to get done with your book and have it going lopsided. So once I get that piece in, then I go ahead and put a little adhesive on the back of the binding area and all the way over the whole piece, and using this liquid glue very sparingly because you don't want your project to wrinkle and buckle. And then I want these to read vertically this way, so I just want to make sure I get them going the right way. And when you're done with this, you can go ahead and ink all the pages, or you could ink them beforehand. I haven't inked these pages yet, but I did ink them on my first album that I showed you. So go ahead and just glue those all the way to the very end here, and then I'll show you how to put the binding covering panel on. Okay, so now that I've attached all of my pages all the way to the back of the album here, I'm ready to put the binding on. So here's basically what it looks like with this cool little flat edge here and the 1/4 inch in between each page. So now we're just ready to glue this binding here at the top to cover all of that. So let's just put a little glue on that. And again, don't get too much glue going or you'll regret it. Just make sure that it's enough to stick everything down good. Okay, so I just like to push that into place on the base there, the binding area, and then just glue the front and back on, making sure everything's nice and square again. And then again, you could use your little clamps, if you have clamps, to hold that in place while it dries. Might not actually need clamps, but I don't know if I can get, maybe I can get them if I open the book up. I can probably get one in the middle there. And we'll just let that dry. So here is our completed 3x4 album, and it turned out adorable. It's got all these cute little pages that are ready to be embellished. And if you find that the little 3x4 cards are too much and you'd like to just insert some pattern paper, that would be great too. Every now and then, you know, you don't want to put a picture on top of that, but some of these little 3x4 cards are perfect for putting embellishments and pictures on, and some are already designed and you don't want to cover up the cute design. So you could put some pattern paper in, just basic pattern paper like that. So I hope you have fun making these albums. They're really fun, adorable, and really inexpensive to make. So have a great day. Bye-bye.